What's happening, Wisdom Warriors of Light? Back at it for another video. Hey, hey, hey. So listen, before we get into the video for today, because I want to talk a little bit about how I've been feeling and just a lot of different things. This may be a little bit of a longer video, but you know, whatever needs to come through will come through exactly how it's going to need to come through for whoever needs the message. So please, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I love you all so much from my heart to yours. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I'm truly grateful and blessed for each and every one of you. I love you all again from the bottom of my heart. Take care of yourselves, please. And let's get into it, man. Now, I've showed you a few times in a few videos this new deck I got, which is Kyle Gray's The Angel Guide Oracle. And you know, check it out, man. This is not a plug. I'm not being sponsored by Kyle Gray in any way. This deck has just been amazing for me, and that's all I gotta say. I mean, I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm not plugging anything. Like, if you want, go buy his deck. If you don't, that's okay too. There's no I mean, if Kyle Gray, you want to plug my channel, hey, I love it. Let's do it. If you want to collaborate with me, let's do it. So yeah, I pulled like 3 cards out of the deck, like general cards for the collective, and this is what came through. So somebody needed these messages. Somebody, it might be one person that listens to this video and needed these freaking messages that are coming through. So we got Divine Timing, which I feel like everybody, that's for everybody. Let's see it, and hopefully it's not blurry, but we got Divine Timing. I mean, you know what you know like what that feels like to you, and I can tell you right now, like, it means for me, like, trust in the universe that that romantic partner, that whatever your purpose is and that you want to achieve will come when it's meant to come in divine timing. When the universe knows that you're ready for whatever you think you're ready for, they know ahead of time what you are ready for. Way before you think you know you're ready. So then we have Earth and Ground. Earth and Ground. I think it's doesn't look like it's in the blurry spot, so hopefully you guys can see that clearly. And then we've got Intuition and Downloads. I mean, for to be honest, quite honest, man, I've been feeling all 3 of these for me. So it's not only for me, but it's for you all too. And somebody out there needed these messages, and I've been seeing divine timing for a lot. I pulled some cards for some other people, and it just so happens that they got divine timing too. And I haven't seen intuition and downloads yet. This was the first time this came through. And Earth and Grounded, I haven't seen those cards for myself or anyone else I've pulled for. So but I can feel that for me. I can feel intuition and downloads, because for me, I've been getting a lot of downloads, and I've been connecting a lot to my intuition in so many aspects, in so many ways, and you know, working on deepening my connection with my guide and channeling. And you know, I kind of, not by choice, but this week I haven't really had any readings in the Akashic Records, which, you know, it's been a while since that has happened. So I kind of feel like I needed the break, and it's interesting because you know, if you've been following this channel and you well, if you've been following the channel, things have kind of fallen off this week in a lot of ways, a lot of areas. And yesterday I kind of woke up. It's kind of been a gradual progression, but like yesterday it was like the most. I was sneezing a lot. and I was getting like that post nasal drip crap, where like it's kind of still a little bit wonky. It feels kind of wonky, but it was literally I kept blowing my nose all day, and it was like dripping. And I know that might be TMI, but I mean, I'm not sitting here showing you anything or anything like that. So, but I was getting a lot of that yesterday, and it seems to have dried up. And I still feel kind of like off. But I feel like it was kind of allergies, but I also feel like at the same time that I needed to rest this week, because in actuality I was supposed to record another episode tonight of the Awakening series, which you guys have seen on the channel. We were going to bring somebody else in the mix, and it's going to happen still. We just couldn't do it this week. We had some things happen, and so I was kind of like feeling it intuitively, like, man, almost like I already knew it was going to happen, that we weren't going to record an episode tonight. Intuitively, I was really feeling that. And to be honest with you, I didn't feel really up to it because of my sinuses, or whatever you want to call it, because I don't really know what it is, and quite frankly, I don't really care. I don't really need to know what it is. I just know that I was sneezing a lot, and I was getting post-nasal drip, and I was sort of yesterday starting to get a headache from blowing my nose and all that, and then it got better today. It's still not. I still don't feel 100% from what I was feeling the last couple days. Plus, in the beginning of the week too, I was kind of feeling very defeated, and very ungrateful, let's say, because I want to kind of go into gratitude in this episode. And we really, truly, honestly have to be grateful for where we are right now. And I know that is so hard for some people to say, because you're going to tell me, well, how do I be grateful if I got robbed, or I got sexually abused, or I got, or something happened, or that? How can you look at that from gratitude? How can you look at that from a grateful place? But it's almost like the universe. I know a lot of us have a hard time, like, look, man, the bottom line is people are hurting people, okay, because of their hurt. But there still comes a place and a point where you have to be grateful for where you are. Because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of the situations that I've gone through, and I'm not saying that you have to go through that going forward, and that we're going to have to go through that going forward, because we're not. I feel like the way that consciousness is shifting, we're not going to have to deal with those kind of things anymore. And that's not going to be the way that it's going to move, because we're being cracked open. Our hearts are being opened. We're becoming vulnerable. We're stepping in our power. We're stepping in our truth. But like the way that it's been, and the way that I see, like, it's hard to wrap your head around it and actually explain this in the way that it's coming through. Because I don't necessarily want to. I don't want it to come out the wrong way, but then again, I know that the right people are going to hear the message that need to hear it, and they're going to understand it the way they need to understand it. So I just need to just say it. And the bottom line is, these experiences that I've experienced in my past, if it wasn't for those experiences, I wouldn't be able to sit on here and talk about it and help someone else that's going through it. But see, as we go forward, these situations that we've had in the past are not going to exist anymore. So we won't have to go through these things to then help someone else, because the those experiences won't be happening to others, so they won't need help with it. It'll be completely, we're moving into a completely different state of consciousness. We're rising up in frequency and vibration, and we're not going to have to play out these experiences in the way that we did before, from now and going back, because nobody will need that anymore. If that makes any sense. Again, I know that the right people will hear the messages and understand it because it will resonate with them. But see, like, these experiences that I experienced, people are now going through them. So the people like me and others that went through all this horrific stuff in the past are now here to assist the ones going through it now. And as we continue to evolve and grow, and our frequency continues to increase and our vibration continues to increase, we won't have these same experiences anymore. They'll be different, right? And so there won't be a need for us to go through what we went through in the past, because it just won't exist, because of the state of consciousness we're in. And so, if that makes sense, it definitely makes sense to me. I know that it's coming through me for a reason. So that's what I mean by gratitude, like, for whatever your experience is, I give this one example because in the past, I would have been so upset, and I remember this, and I went and got touch-up paint, and like somebody dinged my door, and and took the paint off, and it's like a little tiny ding, but yet it took it down to the metal. And I'm like, well, it happened sometime last year, and I don't know when it happened or how it happened, or, I mean, that's really kind of besides the point. But in the past, if something like that would have happened, I would have been a lot more upset than I actually was this time, because I'm not really attached to it, and it just doesn't affect me in that way anymore. I didn't have this massive reaction, like flipping out and, God damn it, why does this shit always happen, blah blah blah. And I honestly didn't have any reaction at all. It was just like, okay, like, maybe, and I do kind of believe sometimes these things happen to show us where we are now and how we will react, and for us to show the universe, like, okay, like, he handled this really well, like, he didn't have this gigantic outburst and this throwing shit and reacting and blah blah blah, and he just basically just, okay, like, it really didn't affect me internally and externally. And every single day, like I've talked about the Akashic Records, which I'm going to go a little bit more deeper into that in another video, but how we're being watched in so many different ways by our own higher self, by our body, by our spirit, by our eyes and our ears and our mouth, and by the universe and God, and just in so many ways we're being watched, and there's a lot of things that are happening, that, like this situation with the car and the ding, how am I gonna react to that? Like, if something like that happened, like, and I feel like over the years I've reacted so much differently. Like when I dropped my phone and the screen cracked, and and I feel like today I had this situation with a cell phone provider, and I'll just give you a little briefing of what happened. But like last week, well, on the 1st of July, I switched my plan to a different plan within the provider. And no one ever told me when I signed up that last year that I had to stay with that plan for a certain amount of months. I was never told that. And so they gave me like a gift card for, switching over and bringing my phone over to the service. And so I was never told that. So I've been there since probably like October, November, almost a year. And so I get this email and this text that I owe like almost 400 something dollars. I'm like, what? Like, I was told that there's nothing else I'm going to owe. And, I made sure to ask multiple questions before I transferred to the new service within the company. And I even spoke with the sales department. They got me on three-way, all this stuff, and still I was not provided with the right information. Well, a few days later, after the first, maybe a week, I got an email and I got a text and I got a letter in the mail with a payment invoice saying that it's due by the 25th, 400 something dollars. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But I didn't react. I didn't flip out. I didn't go nuts. I was like, you know what? It'll work out. It's going to work out. Yes, it bothered me that I'm going to have to now take time on the phone and, waste time with my life. But like, all these things are lessons regardless. We're still learning no matter what. In every situation we go through and experience, good or bad, we're learning and we're growing no matter what. And the universe is always watching us on how we're going to handle that situation, how we're going to react. Like, how are we going to take it? How are we going to handle it? Are we going to have gratitude no matter what? Because it is a miracle to be here in the physical, no matter what the situation we're experiencing and going through. It's a miracle to be here in physicality. And the universe is watching us on how much we've grown. And 4, 5, 6 years ago, I would have flipped out. I would have reacted in a whole different way. I would have handled it in a whole different way, just like I handled people taking spots from me. Like getting out of my car, turning red, screaming and yelling. And later on down the line, as you grow and you evolve, you may come across a situation where somebody steals your spot, the same kind of situation. And somebody tries to steal your spot, and how are you going to react? How are you going to handle it? How are you going to deal with it? Not only in the external, but internally too. How does it make you feel? Do you feel the same way you did 4 or 5 years ago when that situation happened? Or are you just letting it like fall off your shoulders, like kind of blow over, like it doesn't really affect you? And to be honest with you, it didn't really bother me. The only part that bothered me was me having to sit on the phone and deal with it. But like this new company, customer service is so much better. You get to somebody so much quicker, and they just are a much. It's just so much more easy and smooth. Even though I didn't really want to make the call and get on the phone and blah blah blah, but I handled it in such a different way. I would have had a curt sound in my voice, and I would have been like, they would have sensed it in my voice and my energy, but I was completely different in the way that I approached the situation. And then today happened, and I go on my bank, and I go on my credit card, just whatever, to see the balance, and I'm like wondering, why is it this balance? And then all of a sudden I noticed it, and I saw the cell phone company's name there, and they charged me $440 something, and I'm like, what is going on, man? I was told by the previous guy that it was approved and they weren't going to charge me, and then all of a sudden I get a charge on my credit card for that amount. And I'm like, again, I didn't react, I didn't flip out, I didn't lose my shit. I'm like, oh Lord, now I got to call them again and deal with this and blah, blah, blah. And that was kind of my reaction, but it was like from a state of calmness. And so I called and we settled it, and he said that they've approved the credit, and I should see it within 3 to 5 days. If I don't get it by the 20th or 21st, to call back, to write down the number that he gave me, the confirmation number, his name, the date, all that stuff, and call back if I have to on the 21st. I really didn't feel angry. I really didn't feel a certain type of way. like I would have normally, frustrated, pissed off. Like I just didn't feel that. The only thing that bothered me the most was the time that I was wasting having to call them. And some of these situations are a test. They're testing us to see how we react. And we need it in soul growth, in our growth. I mean, like, how else would we measure how we're doing? How else would they measure how we're doing if we didn't come across maybe an old type of situation that may have happened to us in the past? Like I said, like when I reacted to somebody trying to take a spot and I got out of my car, and this was 10 years ago, maybe something like that, maybe around 2015 or so. How would I know that I've changed if like something like that didn't happen again, where somebody was like, I had my signal on and I was trying to park and this person just swoops in and tries to take it? And literally back then I got out of my car and I started yelling and screaming at the top of my lungs. My face turned red. I just lost it. How would I know if like same kind of situation didn't happen again, and how would I handle that situation? How would I deal with it? How would I react? How would I show up? You know? And this is something that is similar that has happened to me. You know, where we're on other cell phone providers where they said, yes, we approve this, like you're not going to get charged for this and blah, 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 but then you end up getting charged. And in the past, yeah, I had rage in me. I had anger. I didn't want to spend my time with that. And I ended up spending hours and hours, but they were very pleasant to deal with. They were very nice. And it just shows how much I've changed, how much I've grown, how much I've evolved. And that's when you can look back and say, you know what? I really have changed. I really didn't feel the same way as I would have in the past. I really didn't treat them a certain type of way. Like, and we're being watched and we're being, shown different things so that now, like, they can say, oh, you know what? He's ready. He's ready to go to the next level. He's ready. He's ready for us to bring him subscribers because, see, it goes back to the same thing with the YouTube channel and the channel growing very slowly and then subscribers falling off. And then we sit here and we say, well, this is YouTube. This is YouTube's fault. This is the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. But then I think about it deeper, on a deeper level. I got some downloads and before I came on here, and I start to realize, is it really YouTube? Or does the universe know when you're ready? And that's why you see some people really explode really fast. But it took them a long time to get to that point. Because the universe knows when you're ready for that. Because it comes with a lot of challenges, to say the least. It consumes a lot of your time, and it comes with a lot. And they know. And it could take 5, 7, 10 years. But if you keep going and you're persistent and you're growing in all areas of your life, you will be ready when the universe opens the floodgates. You know what I mean? Because that's essentially, we could sit here and say it's YouTube, but everything goes back to divine timing. Everything goes back to divine timing. And as much as we want to sit here and blame and say it's their fault why I'm not getting this and that, and we could try to take shortcuts and pay someone to increase the flow of subscribers or whatever the case may be, but like that's shortcutting the process. And do you really feel deep down that you will be ready by shortcutting it like that for what's to come if you did get that? Because a lot of times it's not going to be good. And I found that out to be the case for me when I tried to do that back in 2020. So it all goes back to like divine timing, and the universe knows when you're ready for that relationship, when you're ready for those subscribers, when you're ready for that audience. It all goes back to this card, divine timing. It really does. And it requires exactly what this card says. Earth ground. Yeah, that looks blurry. I don't know if it is or not, but maybe I need, yeah, there we go. It's because I was putting my face in there, but there we go. Now it looks clearer. So it all goes back to that, you know, and it goes back to this. I mean, these cards that came through are exactly what I'm talking about, and exactly what somebody needs to hear, and myself for that matter, because it goes back to intuition and downloads. And the downloads are even coming as I'm talking on this video, you know, and it all goes back to divine timing. It has nothing to do with YouTube and their algorithm and like, oh, there's evil whatever. Yeah, there might be manipulation within the system on views and things like that, but there is, I mean, energy is energy. We can't fake energy. We can't fake what the universe is doing as a whole. I mean, this universe is so perfectly designed, and we sit here and we try to like blame and say this is why this is happening, that's why that's happening, but like a lot of it is divine timing. I'm not going to say there's not evil and or hurting people, or but again, I think and know from experience that at least where we've been and where we were, that situations have come to in your awareness or your view because they needed to happen, because you attracted that like a magnet. And where you were, your state of mind, your thoughts, your all of it. I mean, we have to go down to the brass tacks, which is like this universe is so perfectly designed. Down to the T, perfectly designed. And there's a lot of things we can't understand, and we'll sit here and try to pretend like we do understand, or maybe you think you know, and you will, and you know you have it all figured out, but I'm sorry to say that's what this amnesia is all about. We don't have it all figured out. Not one person here on earth has it figured out, and I don't care if they say they do, because they don't. You'll know when you leave. You'll know when your body leaves, when your spirit leaves and transitions on. You know, everybody can claim to say they do, but I will tell you right now, everything is so perfectly done, and you know, that's it. That's all I got, guys. That's all I got for today, guys and gals. Yeah, we're going to end it there. I'm going to just show you the cards one more time, because if you end up seeing it wherever you see the video, we had divine timing. We had earth and ground. And we had intuition and downloads. And yeah, I'm kind of losing steam here because I'm fasting today. I've been fasting all day, and it's pretty much like 2 o'clock here, and I've been fasting all day. I'm kind of feeling it a bit. I felt called to fast after I was getting that nasal drip and, you know, just feeling kind of wonky. I felt like, you know what, I need to fast. So here we are, I'm fasting. I'm doing another detox. I don't know how long I'm gonna do it for today, but I'm doing it. I'm feeling kind of a lack of energy, but you know, I felt very energized in doing this video, and while I've been recording it, and now I'm just losing steam because I know that there's nothing more to go through in this video. I said what I needed to say. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I love reading your comments. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I am truly grateful and blessed for each and every one of you. We are growing a beautiful, beautiful community filled with just love, man. Love and unity and no judgment, and just a safe place for us all to come and learn, grow, and evolve. I love you all. I will see you soon in the next one. Please take care of yourselves and each other. From my heart to yours. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors of Light. We got this. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Let's go, Light Warriors. Let's go, man. I will see you soon. Take care. And love yourself. And love each and other. Each one. Or love each other. Love yourself and love each other. I will see you soon. Take care. I love you all. See you in the next one.